Stephen Hawkins, do you remember him?
No.
He's famous for writing something about the universe, and he is in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
He's very intelligent.
Yeah.
So
He
when he
has
was
like
yes,
beep 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 beep. I like your hair.
yes, he communicates through a computer, I think, and one of the things about him is I read that as a child he was invited to someone's house
A cup of tea.
for lunch, or maybe he was the one that had a friend come over. His friend came over, and he said his father was reading a book while eating. His mother was reading a book while eating. He was reading a book, but he was with me. I mean, the whole environment was
Reading a book.
reading. So of course he's going to be more intelligent than,
Than everyone else.
yes, in some areas. I don't know what he says about religion and Christianity, because if you grow up without knowing anything about Jesus, it's a major religion such as Christianity, Muslims, Buddhists, Taoists, all these are major, Hindus, they're major religions. Name another one.
Of religion. Christian.
Christian, Buddhist, Taoist. All right, the third one,
Catholic.
the third teaching of China. Do you know which one that is? If you had read the Tao of Winnie the Pooh, there are three teachings in China: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism.
Confucianism.
However, my Tai Chi Chuan teacher was mostly like a Taoist. Of course, he practiced Tai Chi Chuan, which is the Taoist philosophy. Would you please put that away while I speak with you? Be a respectful son. The third teaching of China, my teacher said, Confucianism is more about education than a religion. Confucius said, or someone said about Confucius, if the mat where you sit down on the floor is not straight, then Confucius would not sit down.
Why not?
Well, if you look at this table, is it ready for dinner?
No.
Is it ready for like studying?
No.
So he would remove everything.
You throw it on the floor?
No, clean it, put it where it belongs before he would sit down to eat dinner. He wouldn't eat dinner with a cat walking in front of his food, would he?
No.
He would not approve of this. That's why the cats are out there now.
Wait, what are they doing? Are they eating? Yep, MJ was eating first. Snowball has been eating twice as much as MJ, probably 3 times. He's eating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I put 3 scoops on his and 2 scoops on the other one for the girls to eat. And Snowball is eating so much right now. He's still eating. MJ started eating like 2 minutes after Snowball started eating, but she stopped, and Snowball's still eating. Now Emily is eating, and he's still eating.
The Day of Piglet, Benjamin Hoff. What is the day?
The Tao?
The Tao is the way. The Day of Piglet is the virtue of the small. Don't be ashamed of being small.
Oh.
There is a virtue in it. Bruce Lee at one time didn't know how to do any martial arts, did he?
No.
When he was a baby, he didn't know. When he was 14 or something, that's when he began, I think, to study. I saw them being muddled. Okay. For most of my life, I had been learning those principles from various Taoist teachers. Some were official and some not. Some Chinese and some not. Some in human form and some not, which are the best instructors. I saw them being muddled and mutilated in the Taoist writings of scholars who were not Taoists. So you write about Taoism, but you're not a Taoist.
Okay.
And these scholars who had not been taught by Taoists, you were not taught by a Taoist either,
Then why are you writing about Taoists? How do you know about Taoists?
and who did not practice Taoist skills and Taoist exercises, yet who monopolized the subject of Taoism
Was
and sneered. Monopoly is when there's only McDonald's and there are no other restaurants, or there are no other burger restaurants. But now there's the first one to make competition was Burger King. After Burger King, I think Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is a good one.
They're still burgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta figure out if Chick-fil-A sells chicken fillet. Does it
What?
sell beef burgers?
Good question.
I don't know.
Where's my sharpener?
So what is a monopoly?
Monopoly is like only one store? Only one thing of everything?
A monopoly is like when your great-grandfather worked in the Honduran Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
What was the main customer of the Honduran Railroad?
The train track guy?
They used to work in union or in connection with the boats. Now, what did the boats carry?
Tracks?
No, the boats came to Miami, New Orleans, New York, and all over the world. Chiquita bananas. The Chiquita bananas. What is a banana republic?
A place where it grows bananas. I don't know.
All right, a banana republic is a place, like a country, like perhaps the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Honduras, Nicaragua, Guatemala. All of these countries, there was one king of all of them. Who was it? The United States used to tell them what to do. So these countries bought or grew bananas, Chiquita bananas. So they were called banana republics. Oh, it is another country, but the United States tells them what to do. To prove my point that the United States tells them what to do, the Jews after Hitler were on boats. They arrived in Honduras. Honduras didn't give them a place to live. Like, come, you may live in this city. They said, you have 3 days, you get food and water, and then you must go.
Well, that's not cool.
But why did Honduras do that? Because the United States said that that's what Honduras was supposed to do.
But Honduras is a different country, sort of.
Yes, but you see, the United States sometimes tells other countries what to do. When Colombia owned Panama, Panama used to belong to Colombia. Teddy Roosevelt, the president that used to ride horses, right?
Glasses, right?
Had glasses and he wouldn't shoot a teddy bear. So they called the bears teddy bears after Ted Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. Why wouldn't he shoot the bear?
Because it's a baby.
It was a baby, but
and it
somebody
had a life to do.
somebody had just shot the baby's mother.
Oh.
So the baby was looking this way and looking that way, and Teddy Roosevelt said, I'm not going to shoot the baby in this mental, it's already suffering, you see.
Yeah.
So Teddy Roosevelt took Panama from whom?
From
Colombia.
Colombia. Yeah.
For what purpose?
So that they wouldn't hunt bears.
No. In Colombia, it's called an isthmus. An isthmus is a narrow piece of land. It divides the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. The water is all connected. But back then, the airplanes were not that, they were important, but they were not that, they still needed the boats a lot.
Okay.
Shipping industry. So they said, let's cut some land through Panama, and this side, the boats, would you please look at me and focus?
Okay.
The boats go from here on land, there's water, right? So the boats will float to the other side. And this way they don't have to go all the way to down South America like Brazil,
So you mean like they just cut across and not go around?
instead of going all the way around,
But
half around the world. Yeah.
Columbus didn't go half around the world. He just went straight across.
Correct. Now he made it perhaps to
India?
New York.
No. Yeah.
Did he ever make it to California?
No.
I doubt it.
He thought Indians.
Right. So how do you get to California? Let's say, I'll just grab a number. It takes 4 months from New York to California the old way. You have to go all the way down South America, Brazil, right, to get to California from New York. But what Teddy Roosevelt did was he cut the land of Panama and put a canal so that the boats could float from New York, come down a little bit, get on the canal and float to the other side, and then go up again to California. All right. So these writers monopolized the subject of Taoism. Let's start another video. It's 11 minutes.